Hello, this is Mark Van de Wittering of the Brainwagon blog, and today I'm going to try the maiden flight of my new little radio control plane that I put together called a Nutball. It's constructed out of Dollar Tree foam, has a little 1300 kV motor at the front, a little 500 milliamp hour battery tucked away underneath, and constructed in an embarrassingly long period of time, but it's actually pretty easy to build. I was just playing around a lot. Got a little bit more wind today than I was maybe hoping for, but it's not too bad, so I'm hoping maybe we'll not immediately crash this thing. So let's see how it goes. So this is Mark Harrison, who's my mentor in all things radio controlled. You can tell that it's actually windy because we've actually got kite flyers out here today. So, not the ideal RC weather. Oh, should have maybe got the other battery. Oh, okay, so after a brief crash here, let's see. Still looks like things...
That was a landing.
Oh, knocked the battery off. More flying. La 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 la.
Classic Delta wing that's been around for I don't know, at least probably 10 years or so. It was one of the first ones that came out when they came out with the LiPo and the electric motors and stuff. And it's pretty straightforward. It's got the Delta wing configuration. One interesting thing is it has this no hatch or anything, but it's just got this canopy, and you stick the batteries under here like that, and pretty straightforward. And then here we have a much bigger production. It's the right wing. And
This thing is huge.
yeah, this is good. If you ever see the videos of Trappy, the guy that flies up to the Statue of Liberty, this is what he was flying at the time. And then inside we have an ArduPilot. Oh no, my foam is missing. We have an ArduPilot Mega 2.
Yeah.
This is open source hardware and software, and it's connected. We have the 3DR radio. This is an open source radio, both hardware and software. And Tridge, the rsync and Samba guy, actually did all the firmware. And we have a battery taped up front that kind of compensates for the weight of what'll be a GoPro.
Okay,
We
cool.
have a hole for video transmitter. And we have a nice FreeSky. We have an extra hole where I miscalculated the radio should go.
Cool.
And it's
So is that a 10-inch prop?
yeah, this is I think a 10 by 6, and we've been actually having a little bit of problems with we had another motor on here and it wasn't quite getting enough thrust to launch, so we got the prop all reset, and as a result of the launch we had a little bit of a crack in the foam here. We got that all epoxied up and that looks nice and firm in there. So one of the problems with this guy is when it lands, if the prop's down and it hits, it'll kind of give some lateral force on the motor, which isn't good. So typically, I think what they'll do is they'll set. You can set the motor so that it will not freewheel. What do they call that? I can't remember what they call that. But what'll happen is this will be the spot where the wind force is the least. So when it's up high, it'll push it down to here, and then it'll kind of stick in that position.
Interesting.
And it's got balsa control surfaces, and then the wing itself is EPO. I think it's EPO. Molded, and then when it's covered, it's really rigid. And then it's got like a 3-layer stick system in here It's got like a fiberglass kind of like bead-like thing, and then another stick, and then of course down at the bottom it's got one going across the top, and it's a Gorilla glued in with brown Gorilla glue, so it's really sturdy.
Cool.
And then coroplast.
Skidders or whatever.
Yes.
Well, it's very cool. So you've tried to fly this, you've gotten it up in the air for like a second or two, right? And so this morning you're going to actually try and do a little better, huh?
Yes, we've had 3 launches with a combined air time of about 1.5 seconds.
I think if I dropped my battery, that would be about the same flight time.
Yes, but when you take physics and you know there's the 2 separate components, I think we demonstrated that.
Well, that's cool. Looking forward to seeing it in the air. So hopefully we'll see it soon.
Okay. Well, here's a handy tip. Put, in addition to marking what the CG is, put like a blob of hot glue on each side, and then you have a thing for your fingers to rest on. And A, you know where it is, and then B, it'll kind of stabilize. Yeah, I think that's not too bad.
Yeah, while we were working on stuff, it was perfectly calm, and then the instant you get ready to launch something, the wind picks up. So.
Oh, and here's a we can put an accessory on.
Oh. So what's the accessory today?
So this thing will beep when the battery goes low.
Ah.
So you can see there it's showing green, and then it'll turn red when it's low, and it will beep noisily.
Cool. Yet more things I need to order from Hobby King, no doubt. Yeah, at least this thing can make a little headway against this wind. They are kind of a little bit flighty, aren't they?
So these Superflies are famous for being sturdy, and they were the inspiration for night bowling. So there's this place called Southeast Fun Fly, and one of their annual
Looks nice in the sky.
is a really pretty.
A little more stable than mine in the headwind too.
Just a little, yes.
Although it kind of can get a little nose down when you go with the wind there.
Yeah.
Ooh, loop-de-loop. Nice. Very cool. So that's kind of a nice little slow. It flies pretty slow too.
It's really nice because it can also do the really high alpha.
Yeah.
So it's really fun for small areas.
Nice. You can hear your battery alarm going off.
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really nice. You can just kind of bring it up and it'll just come
it's definitely looks like this thing can cut against the wind a little better than my poor little Nutball. But, well, we'll have to give it a try. Ta-da!